during the
He's on his way, he's gonna be late.
Okay.
He said it
There's
was
like 3 cars that went through this crosswalk while they were filming and they posted it. This is what we're talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. It was just trying to.
Well, the guy who sent all the pictures.
I can't see myself.
Walking
Yeah,
down
I'm like,
the street, I'm like, well, that's not safe. That's not safe on any walking route. I don't think that was.
We're good? Okay, welcome to our city council work meeting tonight, Wednesday, October 9th. We're gonna jump right in, review of this evening's agenda. Any changes, comments? I see none, future agenda items.
what's the, I know we're still working on traffic studies and stuff, but what's that look like for a presentation? Is it this fall or this winter, or are we talking?
Next
year?
council.
Okay. Next council, okay, cool.
And Bryce, you're gonna do that in the general session, correct?
Yeah.
It's a regular meeting,
Yeah,
so.
that'll be a regular meeting, just so it's.
Awesome. And I will be in sunny Florida, hurricane area, maybe, so. But I'll be like, I'll be in Panama City area, but I'll be online, so.
Not city council necessarily, but I talked to Bryce. Can you put that item we talked about on the traffic committee?
Yeah.
Have them look at it. You're on traffic committee. There's been a couple of posts about wanting kind of a, and I'll be honest, I ran it the first time I went over there, that new light in Sentinel in front of the high school.
Chief, did you hear that?
Yeah, he ran a light.
It's around, I've just heard pictures of it a little bit, it's catching people off guard, there's been a couple of near misses according to, so I'm just looking at maybe just a signal ahead, just a sign.
Do we have our billboards? But that's Riverton.
So we
That's
did have billboards, we usually, or message boards up for like the first 2 weeks, we usually leave them up and then we'll pull them just to like alert people. It's a new traffic signal that hasn't been there, but yeah, it's been a month now.
Is 138
2 months.
online yet?
No, it's not.
Cause that's also gonna be a new one that we're.
Yeah, so but the concern that he's talking, I don't think we'll have at 138 because it's a straight section on
visually
both sides. And the one at the high school does have a curve on one side of the road.
Is it coming from the
not on
south, going
Coming
south?
from the north to the south, yeah, I had,
Okay.
I think you need it both sides.
But that wasn't that light there prior? Wasn't there?
It was
It's
a
a
hawk
hawk.
signal or a pedestrian
Oh, that
signal
was it.
before.
Okay.
So that's what I think people are still coming around thinking it's a hawk, and it's full on light now.
Mm-hmm.
So just today, there was that other post about that, that's what that,
Yeah,
drove
yeah,
that
that's-
one, that's
yeah.
what. So
I think
it's-
people
So
are.
we can.
So just I wanna look at it, just look
We
at it.
look at it, cause I was asking that the safe school thing, or the reduced
school
zone
speed
is discouraged.
Right.
It's not necessarily maybe strongly discouraged, but it's not prohibited. We should look at that, cause if we're having at least some education on that path, maybe we need to put the signs back up.
What's the signage for prepare to stop?
So there's a couple of different options, tiers that we're talking about. There's just a static sign that you just put up that has the signal symbol and with an arrow up that means signal ahead without any flashing. There's a step up from that has that symbol, but then it has the flashing beacons on top of it and it's connected to the signal so that when the signal's turning red, it'll start to flash. Or one step even above that is the overhead arm that says prepare to stop and it comes on when it's about to turn red as well.
Yeah, if you just
So,
Just bring it,
more details on this traffic.
yeah, we can add it to the traffic committee agenda, no problem.
And again, I know it's not agenda, but I would like to see 138th open this weekend, if possible. Even if it doesn't generate, I mean, cause it
Bippity
closes,
boppity
So,
cause it's.
So Rocky Mountain Power, do you want an update on that? I guess I'm jumping in there.
Is
I don't know if
that
it's
on
there
the agenda?
It's not, maybe we can, it's certainly a future agenda item, cause that's the section we're on right now, future agenda items.
Yes,
There is one that we need, it's a discussion about.
Yeah, Google has approached us, they have reviewed our franchise agreement that we, kind of our standard template that we give out. But we did recently make changes to, broadband, cable, and telecom, the whole ordinance. So telecom under federal law pays a 3.5% tax, cable pays a 5% tax, and broadband, we lumped in the cable and they would pay a 5% tax. Google has not paid anything close to a 5% tax and is asking if there's any appetite in reducing that franchise fee. And if so, then I think Google would be interested in coming and providing services in Merriman. And one point that he made to me, which is a frustration on my part, is cable. If the 5% tax is on cable subscriptions, broadband, telecom underneath that, 0. Same thing with telecom. You got telecom, anything that they offer like broadband underneath it, they pay 0 broadband. So that was one of their arguments of, you know, other people aren't paying on broadband. We're willing to do it, but 5% is a lot and a lot more, probably triple the amount of anywhere else that they paid, so. If there is an appetite, I can come back with some options. If there's not, then I can let them know.
I think it's worth a discussion.
I don't have a huge appetite, but I'm always willing to have a discussion.
So the change would probably be a text amendment, that's why I say a future agenda item.
Yeah.
To reduce the or just make it just a different tax amount.
Yeah, I think it would be important to look at that, it would show us more clearly exactly what these people are paying and why it would not be equitable to make them pay that. Because I think we should stay equitable.
Another one that'll likely be coming to you is on the Mountain View corridor, the off ramps. We're gonna need to, we put in our pitch, it got denied on where those off ramps should be. So, we're gonna bring it, I think we're gonna need to engage with our elected officials and maybe some of our state reps to kind of push back. They're ending up pushing a lot of traffic to an area that we never planned on. That traffic in the area we planned on, they're taking the traffic off of it, so.
Of course.
Yeah, because that's the way.
At what intersection?
This is Real Vista or Juniper Crest on
Okay.
the right side, going up and down Mountain View. So you can see the main line design shows the off-ramp between Real Vista and Academy. The next off-ramp to the north is at 132nd South. So this would put, we've always planned the commercial center to have the off-ramp, and this would put the off-ramp south.
So they would be coming off here and having to come back.
We requested to move it with the design team.
They just have to move that one to the north, and so they jump off of the.
That was the request.
Juniper Canyon's kind of pushing some things because of the bridges and the cost.
So this will be coming, I think, maybe for a formal position of the city, but be aware that we need to escalate this.
Yeah.
We're okay on the north side, the north side of the
We'll hit the commercial
Yeah, they had the north
district
side
like
of the
that.
You definitely want that ramp with that.
Yeah, move up the ramp.
But this one definitely doesn't make any sense, it doesn't seem like good traffic flow anyway.
They don't want the off and on at the same location, is that what you're trying to stagger, or what?
It's where the ons come on and the offs go off and the weaving and distance, there's some concerns with moving this to the north, but mainly looking at their criteria and its cost.
And
There were 4 different scenarios they looked at, 2 of them weren't feasible because of the weaving, 2 of them were, but the cost was too high for them.
there's supposed to be some opportunities for people to come and be able to flip around and come back and get off, but we're not seeing any of that either, so. This is just something
You're not seeing
we're
those
gonna need
Texas
it.
turns implemented.
They were calling them Texas turnarounds, but we haven't, I don't know if they're gonna call them
They're
Utah.
putting one in for us, but it's more north.
Yeah, Rosecrest. Okay, let's work on taking a formal position.
I think Utah turnaround.
Okay, anything else on future agenda
Thank you.
items? Okay. 1.3, council discussion of future citizen recognition, there have been no requests, so assuming no feedback, we'll move on. Okay, administrative reports, 2.1, economic development quarterly update. Sandra.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope the update this time was a little bit more clear as far as locations of each commercial center. If you have questions on where the commercial centers are, I'm happy to help you with that. So we'll just kind of go through really quick that since our last update, we had 6 commercial businesses open. From our Venezuelan restaurant to another dental, a pizza, Ria 24, our multicultural center over here, Royal Pickleball down by DBAT, down off of Redwood Road, and then Jamba Juice in Academy Village. Do you have any questions on any of the businesses that are in process or any of the developments that are in process? It's pretty straightforward.
Questions, but just comment if, yeah, this is excellent, there's a
Okay.
lot of activity going on,
Yeah.
it's good movement in our commercial centers.
Yeah, Blake and I were talking, we're gonna have, we feel, all of them are gonna start opening at once. We're gonna have a big flux of businesses that are gonna be coming soon, so,
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
thanks.
And I will say the apartments are
Oh,
back
yeah,
under
we have,
construction.
yeah,
Yeah, they got this, that's on the
Academy is
third
taken
story
up.
going up,
So
yeah,
that will
it's looking good.
Yeah.
Are they seeing an increased, traffic flow? Do we know yet or not? Well, I was in a different city, one of our own residents after lunch today, and he's only like 15 to 20% of what he normally was. At Murphy's, yeah. They're barely making goods, so I'm sure our local businesses are feeling a little stressed.
yeah, the apartments will help, connecting Juniper will help, it'll,
Things are going up.
Yes.
Good to see that.
Okay, strong work.
I think getting
Strong
into
work.
that
Thanks,
space is really go there.
Okay.
and an
Thank you,
off-ramp.
Sam. Anything else? We good? We good?
No, we're
Easy.
good.
Okay,
That's it.
okay. We like it. Great work on the presentation.
Thanks.
I went there too. I had to go to the hospital.
Okay, moving along. 2.2 city status report. Trevor 2.0.
And we have it,
I have it if you want, yeah.
It worked on this.
Trevor, I didn't see you Monday night. Were you there Monday night with your family?
He was wearing a blue shirt, that's why.
These guys,
Yeah,
Did you see me?
I did, I've been with pantaloons.
yes, he had some nice ones on.
That is really bizarre.
Well,
That
that's
is
how we're
like-
doing.
Blink.
If I hold it down. I know you all have memorized it, so there's no need to pull it up.
That's what's
Funny.
that is just absolutely strange. So I think there was, we included a second page this time. I don't know if you can,
There we go.
that had more detail on the sales tax.
Is direct sales, so Amazon sales, online sales, everything is included in direct sales,
That's the
right?
0.5% that we get directly.
You gotta shop more online.
We were,
Yep.
we're gonna probably, well, we've been talking about maybe looking at a historical snapshot of that over the years and present it as a white paper to you. Also, you can have a better sense for
Grown.
how it's grown, because the percentages have grown, but so has the base, that the amount of money is different.
So it skews that a little bit because it's
We probably need to do a communications blitz with the holidays coming to encourage people to shop online and have it delivered to their homes.
We have it, I talked with the chambers today about partnering with them to do an event, so.
No, that's a good idea. I remember even like people talking about if you were gonna buy Home Depot, just order it at your house
yeah.
online and then go pick it up because it's point of purchase.
Or direct ship it, yeah.
Yeah, but if you order online, then it's
Point of sales at your house.
point of sale at your house.
Or go to Target or the other big box stores and try on and then come home and order it.
Yeah.
Takes an extra step, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
They don't understand that 50 cents or $1 is a chunk of change by the time it adds
And then you actually save money because you don't shop and get everything else that can fill up your cart.
Yeah, you Target, you
So-
don't buy the one-offs.
One of the things that's also a challenge with the way sales tax comes in is that there's not a consistent reporting period for the state. That we'll see really short, or like an abbreviated period, and then it'll be a little bit longer, because they're not, it doesn't appear like they're closing it on the same date every month. And so you'll see some of the up and down, we don't always know exactly when they're gonna close, and sometimes we'll get two payments from a vendor in the same month. So that it's just depending on when they're closing it. So that, as you look at these charts, you'll see some of that up and down, that can also be part of why it bounces all over the place for us.
Job.
Thank you.
Very informative.
You're so good at what you do. Thanks. We're lucky to have you, Trevor.
He excels at spreadsheets.
Costumes.
I've been holding that one for a while.
You're waiting.
I just blew right by because I wasn't listening. I'm sorry. Okay. 2.3, Blackridge, 2024 Blackridge Reservoir Review.
Favorite topic.
And Lauren and Anthony. Welcome.
I know, I was really excited.
Yeah,
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Just gonna start whimpering.
Oh, hi, BA. Hey. Welcome back. Thanks. I got a story for you.
This will include like the survey and stuff you did with the residents.
That's surprise.
Yeah, we didn't, well, we'll get into it. Alright, okay, we're working.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're moving. Okay, y'all know where Blackridge is, and you all know that Blackridge has been a source of news for a long time. Including, look how young Chief looks.
Holy cow.
Who's that guy?
Who's that spring chicken?
Les Gray.
Look at that.
My goodness.
Is that last summer?
Yeah. Don't even last week.
Harriman City
I
Council
was
has really
intently
talked about this every year for several years since the reservoir opened. You all know that. We've talked about parking fees before. Finally, last year, we decided to bite the bullet and do it. So these are the headlines from this year.
Quadruples.
And this is what we found out. It works. So as you can see, on this slide, we had almost 5,000 paid visits through the summer. That was 31 days because we only did weekends and holidays. We earned almost $50,000 in revenue from the parking. That was our share. 767 citations were written by their parking agents, not by our police department. And you can kind of see the monthly breakdown there of visits and dollar amounts. We had 2 bad weather days that I would say were bad weather days for the reservoir that we were doing the parking program. And then we did miss Juneteenth this year, right? So next year we'll be sure we catch. Next year we'll be sure to catch that. So any
Well, that
questions on
was
that?
town days too, so. sure
Yeah.
Do we have data from previous years or how this impacted our permit program or?
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Here's your residential parking permit program. So in previous years, we had the fee that we were charging the residents. This year, we got rid of the fee for those parking passes. As you can see, we gave out a significant number more parking passes this year, which we thought would happen, and it seemed to work. Our large pavilion rental, we changed that up as well this year. We increased the fee to $300 per day. We only did daily rentals. It was $300 for residents, $400 for non-residents. We only did a full day rental. That included 10 parking spaces. And if you look at the numbers there, and this year we had 14 rentals totaling
I like that.
$3,600.
Yep.
Last year, 53 rentals, and we collected less funds.
Yeah.
It also significantly reduced staff time. Lauren can speak to this probably more than anybody in the room. It was just much more simple.
Garbage, impact, all that?
Oh, 53 versus parties versus 14, yeah, I'm sure.
The transition between, because we were doing half-day rentals, so people were transitioning in and out, it just, this is much better,
A lot less conflict, yeah.
yeah. And it's easier to keep the pavilion clean and make sure it's ready for use.
Sure.
The people that pay for it. This is why BA's here, because he's excited to talk about the police department responses. Do you want to talk about any of this, BA?
Sure. I mean, our overall calls didn't really change a whole lot. Our numbers, the total number of calls that we received went down a little bit. The total number of cases generated off those calls was pretty flat. It didn't change a whole lot. Our citations went down quite a bit, parking citations in the area. But overall, the reports from the officers really that isn't shown in that graph was that it was much more manageable for both our CSOs and our law enforcement officers that were working up there on the weekends and the holidays, that things were, it just went a lot smoother, it flowed a lot smoother for everybody. We didn't have the chaos that we've seen in the past years.
So you, overall, it was positive, even though the number of calls were still there. It was a much more positive experience for the officers.
Yeah, there wasn't, I mean, in previous years, there's just been a lot of super upset people and a lot of unhappiness and not being able to get in and out of the parking lot and all those other types of things that have caused problems for Anthony's people and Lauren's people and caused the police to get involved. This year, we're still seeing calls for service, but we're not seeing that hostility, I guess is probably the best way to describe it. That seems to have gone away this year.
The parking citations the other group wrote, are those city ordinance citations or are they their own parking? How are they associated? Do they go through our court system or they just pay through their own service?
They pay through their own
Cool.
service.
Okay.
There's your tickets, these are HPD tickets, not the citations that Diamond Parking wrote. Just so you can see the decrease there. Staffing costs, if you'll recall in the previous slide, we had revenue just under $50,000, so we've at least recouped our staffing costs for the summer, which is excellent, plus a little bit extra, so we're finally starting to cover some of the expenses that are associated with the reservoir. Chuck emailed out all of the neighborhood up there, he's got a lot of contacts and they spread out, or he sent out some questions that I wanted them to answer and I only got 2 responses.
Oh darn, I
But-
saw it on their group meeting.
Yeah, so I did receive responses, this was their feedback to us. Overall, we feel like the fee implementation, while it was a little bit bumpy this year because we did have some complaints about service up there. Even though there's a phone number, you can also call to pay, you don't just have to scan the QR code. We had a few complaints about the customer service that was given to them by the parking people. Take that, with a grain of salt, but overall, as staff, we feel like it was great. So,
Good change.
yeah, we think so.
A lot less stress on you, Lauren, you're Anthony.
I think one of the only things that we addressed early on was the misconception that people thought when they paid for a parking spot, it's mine and I can come and go all day long and do whatever I want. Which, that was a couple people early on that was clarified by staff up there, either park staff or PD, and that seemed to self-resolve pretty quickly, but initially there was some confusion there with that they felt like they rented that parking space for the whole day.
And
As long as you don't
also,
leave, you did.
I mean, the crowds were manageable, it was much more enjoyable for the people who visited the reservoir.
We didn't have the queue, as you'll recall.
We didn't have a
Didn't
queue.
experience a queue, which I thought for sure we would, regardless of the program, went away.
I think there was only 2 days that we closed the gate, 2 holidays,
One.
just one.
Just Labor Day, so. No, I think.
So we've deterred quite a few.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I think year 2 will even be better.
Yeah, I think so too. So, that's our question. We're saying we don't wanna make any changes, we wanna keep everything like we've done it this year. Do you have any?
Jared texted he would like an entire discussion on this again.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how can you possibly expect
That's
it
why
to come
he's
back
late.
next year if you don't make changes? How can you make more people irritated if we don't make changes? No, it's
So that's our recommendation is just, let's
Don't
try it
change.
again next year and
Can you kayak
Continue
with
the
a broken knee?
I don't think I can.
No, I'm glad that it worked out better for
Pretty
staff
good,
and our police department. I think the residents as a whole, there was still some grumbling, but anytime there's change and things aren't perfect, there might be, but I think it was way better. Good job.
Love it.
Cool.
Strong work. Okay. Okay. I don't know what to do.
good close.
Yeah.
I got some
Yeah.
terms and items. You might need some of your legs starting to hurt.
See, we're trying to get
Okay, well, we're gonna go to a closed. Well, at least we'll take a motion.
Meeting
Work
first.
meeting first. So I look for motion to adjourn the
No,
work.
you need to.
Go to adjourn the work and go to closed.
Don't adjourn the work, we just temporary recess the work
Yes.
meeting.
Yeah, you're gonna recess, that's right. Cause this is, yeah.
And then we can close and then close the.
Close the work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You got it?
Steve likes,
Steve likes to do it.
we missed him not doing that.
Make a motion to temporarily recess the city council meeting to go into closed meeting for the following purposes as provided in Utah State Code annotated section 52-4-205. Strategy session to discuss pending or reasonably imminent litigation. Strategy session to discuss the purchase, exchange, or lease of real property, or to discuss a proposed development agreement, project proposal, or financing proposal related to the development of land owned by the city, and discussion regarding deployment of security personnel, devices, or systems.
Motion by Steve, second by Sherry. Steve?
Yes.
Sherry? Teddy?
Yes.
What, yes? Is Jared online? No, okay. I'll vote yes, we'll go to, so we'll stay here, I need,
Probably last litigation.
yeah. Start with litigation.
No, wanna start with the property first?
Let's start with property.
Okay, so I just need Blake, Justin,
You gotta get thawed out, stay. It's chilly over there.